my name is Lisa Warner, and I'm a student at the University at Albany, and I'm here to talk to you about Albany and what it has to offer for the LGBTQA community. So first of all, we have a Gender and Sexuality Resource Center, the GSRC. It's a cool place where people just hang out, talk, get some homework done. We have a lot of resources for books. We have a library, computers, everything you need, TV, Wii, PlayStation, everything. So like I said, it's really cool, it's a really safe place, everyone's really accepting, really nice. We do have condoms that you can take for protection, other forms of protection that you can also use. The number for that, if you're interested, is 518-442-5015. Something else that Albany has to offer is the UA Pride Alliance. It's basically a club where people get together once a week at night, and they just talk about certain events that are happening on campus or things that they're putting together. I know last semester we had a trans awareness week, and they were working on that, and they had little pieces of paper making into rope saying something supportive of the LGBT community, like we're there for you, stuff like that. So it was a really cool project. Speaking of that, we also have an LGBTQ support group, which also I believe meets once a week. And it's really there if you're struggling with your sexuality or you want to learn more. And there are other people there that are there to support you and talk about your problems. And it's a really cool environment. It's completely confidential, so if you're struggling, no one's going to know. We also have Gamma Rho Lambda, which is a national sorority. Short is GRL. And it's basically an all-inclusive women's social sorority. And they're all-inclusive, so they have a lot of LGBTQ students, along with straight people or people with no label. So they're very, very inclusive. I'd say one of the most inclusive sororities on campus. We also have gender inclusive housing. When you come to college and you're gay or in the LGBTQ community, it could be very hard if you're placed with a random person in a dorm room and you don't know how they feel about you being gay or you being trans. So the gender inclusive housing is with roommates across the gender spectrum. So they say that they want gender inclusive housing. So that means that they're accepting and that they feel better with people who they know accept the LGBTQ community. It's also available for people who aren't comfortable with being in a single gender housing environment. Last but not least, we have Allies Safe Space Training. Basically, it meets about once or twice throughout the semester, and it's a half-day educational training session, and you just talk about certain topics. You learn language and terminology that has to do with the LGBT community. There are resources for LGBTQ identified people, and it helps for you to identify bias. So yeah, that's a little bit of what our university has to offer for the LGBTQ community. There's definitely a lot more. This is just the basics of what we have. If you have any questions, you can contact Courtney D'Allaird. That's Courtney, D'Allaird. And his email is cdallaiard@albany.edu. This video was for what we have to offer, but in my future videos, I'd also like to get some questions from my viewers. And if you have any questions about your sexuality, or if you want to learn more about pansexuality or asexuality, or you have a problem with your living situation right now, you can send some questions in. I'm going to put like an ask.fm, and basically you can anonymously ask a question or tell me a suggestion. So yeah, so click that, submit something so that I have something to talk about for my next video, and yeah.